going on, everyone? So, I've seen a lot of talk about cashing in on Austin Reaves, right? Austin Reaves is playing unbelievable, out of his mind. And, look, I'm somebody that's not against trading anybody. There's only a handful of guys in the league that are truly untradeable. And it might not even be that many, right? Like if San Antonio bumped their head tomorrow and we're like, hey, we'll trade you Victor Wembanyama for Austin Reaves, I would do that in a heartbeat. I think you'd be foolish not to do that, right? It just depends on the level of package, right? Like if you get a package that's too good to be true, you get a team that's just desperate and like, dude, like let's sell the farm for Austin Reaves, then yeah, there is an argument to be made. If you get the right package, the right trade, anybody is tradable, right? Like it's one of those things, so to me, I don't buy into like he's untouchable. Anyone's really untouchable, but I think you can't trade him right now. Particularly right now, maybe closer to the trade deadline if everyone's healthy and you get the right package and a team is just desperate or whatever. But there's a couple factors about that, right? One, I don't think you could trade Austin Reaves because LeBron's not healthy, one. And even when he does come back, can he stay healthy? You need to make sure that happens, right? Because if you trade Austin Reaves, now you're down a playmaker and ball handler. And it's like, okay, well, if you have LeBron fully healthy and Luka Doncic fully healthy, you're fine. But also even Luka. Right, he's kind of, he looks good. He looks back in a rhythm, but Lakers are also being overly cautious with him, right? So you don't want to go and trade Austin Reaves, and now Luka misses a handful of games, and LeBron's out. Now it's like you're relying on Marcus Smart and Bronny James to run your offense. Like, say what you want about Austin Reaves. The guy is great at carrying this team during the regular season. We've seen it for years. The question is the playoffs, and that's kind of the argument that a lot of people make. Like, yeah, he's doing this in the regular season. What about the playoffs? And look, I've said all offseason, right? Austin Reaves could average 50 points, 50 rebounds, and 50 assists and put up Wilt Chamberlain numbers and look like the greatest player ever to play the game. And I mean, look, he's not that far off, right? The guy is averaging like 34, 35 a game. The guy's been ridiculous. Still averaging like 26 with Luka back, right? The guy's doing everything you could ask for. Even defensively, he's actually been good too defensively. He's been buying in on both sides of the basketball, and the guy's playing 40 minutes a night, right? But I do still have in the back of my mind the playoffs. I do have concerns about that. And that's going to be the big difference between him getting the bag or not. But I think it would be foolish right now to trade Austin Reaves until you really find everything you need. And again, unless you get an insane package, right? You want to at least make sure everyone's healthy, one. Two, make sure everyone can coexist. Because that's the thing, right? Like when LeBron gets back, Luka and Austin Reaves. That's why this has been so important for LeBron sitting out, that you get to see Luka and Austin Reaves and them coexist. And it's been winning. It's been working, right? There's still little things that need to be worked on and improved on. Absolutely. Austin Reaves definitely needs to work on his 3-point shooting, right? Just needs to be more reliable, catch and shoot threes, because Luka Doncic, when he has the ball in his hands, now Austin Reaves becomes just a bigger threat. But you're seeing those two be able to coexist. But like I've said, there's a difference between, hey, these two are really good. These guys are great. They're winning games. And then there's these two can go and win an NBA championship, right? We still need time. You still want to see everything. You don't want to go rush and jump the gun. I get the idea of like, dude, Austin Reaves' value might never be higher. And there's also the argument like Austin Reaves has gotten a taste for being the guy. He's gotten a taste for, handling the basketball and it being his team, and he gets to run the show, and he's showing like, hey, look at the numbers that I can put up when I'm that guy. And so, remember, the Lakers, they could just lose him in free agency. He doesn't have to sign with the Lakers. And a team, the way he's playing, a team, especially if he plays well in the playoffs, I'm not even talking about like unbelievable in the playoffs. I'm talking about just like good in the playoffs. There's teams that'll give him that max, right? And so that'll force the Lakers to match it. So there's questions of like, is he worth the max? If he's playing the way he's playing so far this season, and that can translate come playoff time, then yes, he's worth the max, right? But if he, once again, starts to get inconsistent, or we get to the playoffs and he starts laying duds again, then no, I don't think they could do that. But now the Lakers are in a position to where it's like, okay, what do we do? So there is an argument to be made of like, you don't, like now that Austin Reaves has the taste of it, right? Is that something that he goes and chases and pursues? If the Lakers have even the slightest inclination, like even the slightest, right, that he might just walk in free agency, you have to trade him. You have no choice. No matter how good he's playing, you have to trade him because you cannot lose him for nothing. And there are several teams that'll have money that can steal him away, right? But I don't think that they have any inclination. I don't think Austin Reaves wants to leave. I mean, you see him and Luka and their relationship and how great they've been together, right? You see Austin Reaves. I mean, Austin Reaves forced his way to the Lakers, right? He could have been drafted by several teams. Indiana worked them out. Imagine Tyrese Halliburton and Austin Reaves playing together, right? Like he had opportunities to go elsewhere. He wanted to be a Laker. He wanted to go to the Lakers, right? Now he's a Laker. He wants to be with the Lakers, right? There haven't been slightest reports about Austin Reaves maybe pursuing other options or other avenues. No, he wants to be a Laker. Now, if the Lakers don't want to pay him, then he's probably leaving, right? Like if a team offers him the max, which I think is around like 41, 42 million next year. We don't know exactly because we haven't gotten next year's numbers, but roughly 41, 42 million, just because I think he gets like 25% of the cap. So let's call it 42 million, right? So he's going to start at 42 million. If a team offers him 42 million and the Lakers are only willing to offer 30 million, right, then I think he probably goes with the other team. Now, he might take a little discount to stay with the Lakers, right? Say a team offers him 42 million, he might be willing to take maybe like 37 million, right? Like, hey, I'll take 5 million off the top just for you guys so we can kind of win and do this stuff, more money than I ever thought. Maybe, but he also doesn't have to, right? Like, especially the way he's been playing, right? Like, there's an argument he'd be, a 50 million player the way he's been playing, right? So to me, I don't think it makes sense for the Lakers to trade him right now. Obviously, again, if some crazy package comes along and it's like, wow, like, how do we say no to this? Like, this is too good to be true. But the other big issue with trading him right now in the offseason, that could change, but say the Lakers did want to trade him right now, right? The Lakers can't get true value for Austin Reaves because he's so cheap, right? Like, Austin Reaves being 14 million is great when, he's under contract for 4 years, right? Like, and he's killing it and he's got the best contract in the league. Like this year, he has by far the best contract in the league. Last year, he had the best contract in the league. The problem is if you want to go and trade him and he's playing to the level he's playing. So let's say the Lakers do, like some people agree, right? And again, I'm somebody that is quick to criticize Austin Reaves. I criticize everybody, but for whatever reason, anytime I criticize Austin Reaves, I'm a hater, right? It's crazy. I criticize LeBron, Luka, Anthony Davis, anybody. The moment I criticize Austin Reaves, I'm the bad guy. But I'm fair, right? Like, I've hyped up Austin Reaves. I was an Austin Reaves, Glazer many years ago, right? When he first emerged and all that stuff. But at some point, it's like, okay, the guy is inconsistent. The guy's having playoff struggles, all that stuff. I can only evaluate and judge somebody based on their production at this time. I don't know if Austin Reaves is going to continue to do this. Austin Reaves could end up getting back to absolute dog water, right? I don't know, right? But I'll judge him accordingly when we get to that point, right? I can only judge him based on right now. And right now, he is tearing up the league, and I think it would be absolutely foolish to trade him. I know people are going to be like, oh, but you talked about trading him. Yes. And again, I would still trade him if the right package came along, right? If you could get and solve all of your issues, plus, if Atlanta wanted to get off of Trae Young and they offered Jalen Johnson and Dyson Daniels, right, plus 2 firsts or something crazy like that, it would be very hard to say no to that. 2 hyper-athletic, versatile, defensive two-way guys, and you get some assets in the process, right? Like, Dyson Daniels is probably the ideal, perfect guy slotted in alongside Luka Doncic, and then you got a potential star in Jalen Johnson, right? Like, it'd be hard to say no to that if, Atlanta for whatever, and just throwing out a package. But my point is that, like, again, I believe, I guess everyone believes they are, but I believe I'm fair. Austin Reaves plays great and is torching, even when he has a bad game in between. I praise him, right? He had a bad game and I was like, hey, look, no big deal. 3-point shot, his shot wasn't falling, but look, it might have been his best game. And I completely swung it to him being a star and being great, right? My issue is when he starts rattling off 3, 4, 5 bad games in a row. And then it's like, at some point it's like, okay, I got to say something. I can't come up here and be like, well, the guy's killing it. Like, I have to be honest. I owe it to the audience. So again, I say all that because again, I'm not somebody that is like married to keeping Austin Reaves and he's just untradeable. But I do not believe right now you can trade him. I do not think this season, the way he's playing, you can trade him because you're not going to be able to get the value that justifies it because his contract's so cheap. If the Lakers wanted to trade him and cash him in, which means you have to hope that he stays playing well. If you are going to cash him in, you have to do it in the offseason because then you can sign and trade. So now, again, let's say Trae Young leaves Atlanta and Atlanta's like, hey, we could go get Austin Reaves. Now you could go get a Dyson Daniels, Jalen Johnson, and multiple first and a sign and trade because they have the money, they can bring him in, and then now you get the pieces, and now you have like 5 firsts and a bunch of other stuff that now you can go package and trade and do all of that, right? Like that's now all of a sudden it's like, man, we have Luka Doncic, Dyson Daniels, Jalen Johnson, plus DeAndre Ayton, and now have Jake LaRavia, Marcus Smart, so on and so forth. Plus we have 5 picks or 6 first-round picks that we can now go trade to go get a Giannis or something like that. And now you're probably winning the next 3-4 years in a row because, if something like that presents itself, then sure. Yes, absolutely. If next offseason you could go and get Giannis and trade, maybe you're even trading Austin Reaves to go get Giannis, whatever, right? Like, if something like that presents itself, then yeah, sure, you take it, right? But right now, it doesn't make any sense. You don't have the trust that Luka and LeBron can stay healthy right now. And best ability is availability, and Austin Reaves is available, right? So I just don't think you can do that, and you can't even cash him in to the level that would justify and make sense. Because let's say a team is willing to give you like 6 firsts for Austin Reaves. It doesn't make any sense, right? Because the Lakers aren't trying to rebuild, right? Like, so again, like a team might come in and be like, hey, we'll give you 6 first-round picks in this young guy, whatever, pick a guy, right? It's like, yeah, like that might be an overpay. That might be ridiculous. It might be like, man, you got to take that, but it doesn't help our pursuit of winning right now, right? It's like, yeah, now we have, 11 firsts next year or whatever. Like, that's great, but now what, right? Like, you can't even cash them in. So again, I just think it's important to justify. I live streams and comments on videos and just, social media and all that stuff. Everyone's like, oh, we should cash in on Austin Reaves because he's playing so high. And I get it. Like, I get the idea of like, the concern about him getting back to being inconsistent and him in the playoffs, right? But I just don't think you can justify trading him right now. Again, not saying he's untradeable. You get the right package, the right trade, whatever that presents itself. Sure, it's hard to say no to that. Right? If like I said, you get the Atlanta package that I just made up, right? Like, if you could get something like that, again, it's like, do you really say no to that, right? Like, it's like, man, you get 2 young, versatile, athletic 3-and-D wings to slot in beautifully alongside Luka Doncic and DeAndre Ayton long-term. Now you have, like I said, 5-6 first-round picks that you could go package together to go get a Giannis or something like that. Like, now you're in business, right? Like, something like that could work. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. I pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.